Hello people, you may already know what Friday Night Funkin is. If you've been living under a rock, I'll oversimplify it. Blue-haired man want to kiss demon. Random goofy spooky people stop him. Blue-haired man use rap to kiss girl in peace. This game is developed by a small team of people, Ninja Muffin 99 being the coder dude doing coderay stuff, Phantom Arcade being a spooky ghost animator, and Musica is kawaii sprite that makes cool songs. Oh, and Evil Scare, who's absolutely irrelevant but drew a few art pieces and that's about it. And then there's some guests like Jeff and Marling. Awesome. This game is also available to play on that one website with edgy stuff that was popular in the 2000s and early 2010s. It's Newgrounds, by the way. If you haven't read the title, this video is basically going to cover the definitive Friday Night Funkin Iceberg by a stinking loser named u/Chris A0101, or Clocky. Now, as for how icebergs work, they're basically a tier list of knowledge and information shared into one image, and as it gets deeper, more disturbing and unknown entries start to show. Now, there's a lot of entries here, so we're going to be separating this into parts. This video will cover tiers 1 and 2. Once we finish up all the tiers, we might put out a several hours long video combining these parts together, like any other huge iceberg that is separated into parts. Like with many other iceberg videos, we'll be using an icon which represents the confidence and certainty with whatever entry we're covering. These icons will be shown here in the top right, so that way you can find out if we have literal ant-sized brains for certain entries, or if we got a degree at Friday Night Funkin' Harvard and denying us means you're a stupid idiot who is incorrect. The confidence meter will also be accompanied by the text of the current entry. It may also come in handy to have a copy of the iceberg open whilst you watch, as there are many different types of entries of which are color coded. Link in description. In the top left, we will have icons for our lovely narrators, Scav AV, Ellie, Cody, and Buny. You may also see mine pop up at some point. It should be pretty obvious that there will be spoilers for a lot of Friday Night Funkin' related content, and some spoilers for non-FNF content that is still affiliated with the game in some way, like Madness Combat, Sonic, etc. So if you have not played or experienced any of the content that contains spoiler material, and you don't want any spoilers to ruin your experience, please do not watch this video. Or just mute it and play it in the background to increase our audience engagement. We're going to be talking about drama, unused content, users, mods, lore, files, lost things, and many more, all in these series of videos. If necessary, we will put a quick spoiler alert. Oh yeah, and also, we will cover some stuff that will scare the children and the traumatized/fearful, so do not say we didn't warn you. This iceberg has been in development hell for the longest time, and as the editor of this intro and tier 2, believe me, editing all day for several days straight is not fun, but we will manage to get our acts together and get stuff done. The Iceberger creator also has a YouTube channel which has nothing on it, I swear, do not look it up. Oh wait, isn't that on this channel? Anyways, grab some headphones, grab some Fiji water, grab some Domino's pepperoni pizza, and get freaky on this Friday night with the Friday Night Funkin' definitive iceberg, created by Chris A0101.
It is the sound effect that Boyfriend does in Week 2 song Spookies. Yep, that's the thing. Cute little fella giving the cute little thing.
This has become a meme around the FNF community, as the first song of Pico starts off with Pico trying to say, which sounds just like the test that the entry is telling. This section of the song has also kind of become part of many headcanon lyrics, though the devs have yet to confirm if this is actually canon or not.
One of the earlier mods of FNF, it is a remix and palette swap mod that completely compiles all the vanilla soundtrack and remixes to feel entirely different while also having much harder charting. It was revealed in Funkin' Forward that redesigns are coming for B-sides rather than the palette swaps introduced as of making this video.
Early on into FNF's life cycle, it used to be nothing more but a hand cannon and a common ship using crappy Whackpack fanfics, as Ninja Muffin 999 had joked about it across the internet. This ship would later be considered canon by the devs sometime later. This ship also got the attention of Tom Fulp, founder of Newgrounds and creator of Pico School, as the end of Pico School, Love Conquers All, which was a 2021 April Fool's replacement for the original Pico School, then turning into a standalone game after April Fool's, had a moment where Pico would express how he has a boyfriend, no pun intended, and that everyone is cool with it. Then, in week 7, after Pico enters in the scene, Tankman would say the following line.
Look who it is, your sexually ambiguous, angry little friend. Don't you have a school to shoot up?
During the stress cutscene, which remarks towards the ship's canonicity. Now, why did they break up again? Well, the canon reason is it's complicated. Yeah, that's the reason.
It's not really well known as to who BF's parents are and what they do in canon, but fan iterations started popping up, such as the angelic ones where BF's dad is a man in a white tuxedo and BF's mom is a woman wearing green attire and sandals. Canon information, however, was found in a Reddit post, as Ninja Muffin would say that BF's parents work in accounting.
Blue balled is the result of you failing a song either by not pressing the right note buttons or never even hitting them in the first place, leading to the player's health going further left till the bar is entirely filled by the enemy's red bar. When you fail a song, Boyfriend's skeleton would be shown as he drops the microphone and has his testicles twitch and be color blue. In the Week 7 update, the game could track how many blue balls you got playing a certain track in the pause menu. And if you don't get the context behind why Boyfriend's balls turn blue and ache, this thing is of course relating to the slang word blue balls that stands for epididymal hypertension. If you know it, let's just say you wouldn't want to have this if you were a sexually active male. Oh wait, this implies that everyone who gets it is self-identifying as a male. Look, this thing affects people who have a penis and testicles, okay? Please don't cancel us for transphobia. We also have trans people in our team too.
Corruption mods are mods that revolve around the design of shadowy GF with a red bloody face seen in the background of Week 5's Winter Horrorland being utilized for other characters. The first one was released by Phantom Fear, who popularized the whole thing. The lore of the corruption is when Girlfriend was infected with an unknown virus that caused her to become corrupt, and she further spread it to Boyfriend, who is the protagonist of the mod, as he goes on to infect the characters like Skid and Pump, Pico, and more. Week 7 also was replaced with Daddy Dearest instead of Tankman, as opposed to the mod, using already existing weeks to tell the story of the mod. Corruption also has their own unique soundtracks, all using vocals of the original tracks. A demo was released that went through Week 2's tracks for people to play. The mod has gotten some hate as there was a rise of low effort and low quality fan-made corruption mods, which made the reputation of the corruption mod get to an all-time low. Common insults towards the mod include people calling it edgy and saying it was made in MS Paint.
Update. Yeah, there's also a senpai demo, which involves glitches and a funny spirit face right here. Also, we forget to mention this dude, who's a spiritual opponent for Week 8 and is setting his physical alternative free from the corruption.
It's an unofficial successor of B-Sides, however it takes on a more different spin. In this mod, the art style is completely changed and designs have been altered greatly to some degree. Boyfriend has a caution sign tank top instead of a white t-shirt with a forbidden sign, as well as having earrings and sharp teeth. Girlfriend has ginger, pigtail hair, freckles, and wears a green jacket. Plot-wise, nothing really has changed. There's a mechanic in Week 3 where Pico shoots his gun, which is taken directly from the HD mod, which will be discussed later on this iceberg.
Well, it's deviant art. It's either war, fetish art, ships, and all kinds of weird stuff. I didn't even search for one art piece on this website relating to FNF, so yeah.
FNF But Bad is a reskin mod that does exactly what it tells. It is pretty much a joke mod that entirely replaces the artwork to look very poorly done, as well as music having its quality toned down and having very bad vocals. That was it. Some people thought it was funny, while others have a disagreement. On to the rest of the stuff. The creator took down the mod in September of 2021 before shortly bringing it back up. Then there was a drama where she sent 34 a Folder Man along with some other saucy stuff, which was very questionable. It got resolved eventually as it was, but an oopsie that the creator didn't realize was that Ron was actually a child. And she also rebranded after this. In April of 2022, we got a lore video that has some trivia, like Beaufriend and Grailfiend being 23.
And Grailfiend, I think too, they're both 23.
And right now, a but bad version of Dave and Bambi is currently in development. We'll see how things will go out. Friday Night Fever is a reskin mod that entirely replaces the character with entirely different characters. Plot revolves around a town called Fever Town, and some guy named Fever runs it as the town tries to take over his position. There's a literal nun with a chainsaw literally telling the mayor of a town that he'll meet God. It's a roller coaster of various stuff from normal and to weird, all because some demon dude hit the booze a little harder than the ideal amount. Careful about alcohol abuse, kids, because you might end up like Fever.
This statement is implying that Girlfriend is a demon, which is canonically true. Girlfriend is the daughter of Daddy Dearest and his wife, Mommy Nearest. These people are obviously demons as noted by the description in the Kickstarter page. This is first implemented when you feel a Week 7 song, Stress, in which Girlfriend's skeleton is shown. And it's very obvious. This is very self-explanatory. When you break a 10 combo in FNF, she can be seen crying for a brief moment until remaining back to normal. It's nothing special. This sprite would be reused in Week 7's cutscenes when Tankman roasts Girlfriend,
Little teenager that wears her mom's clothes.
which implies she has the ability of feeling insults directed to her. Soft, uptight little bitch.
The mod's title is a bit self-explanatory. It's basically the entire game of FNF, except its art style has been changed to look more detailed and complex. The mod would also implement mechanics such as Pico's caution symbols in Week 3, Mommy's mirrors, thunder, and streetlight signs in Week 4. The same story is applied, though adds new elements to it, and some of the elements are pretty unexpected.
Bruh.
Yeah, very crazy.
Editor's notice. We got some new stuff in here and some other stuff we forgot to write in here. Recently, the HD mod got itself some new remixes, which are made by Jellyfished M, which are pretty cool if I'm gonna be honest. Also, this mod has some pretty cool details that we overlooked that happened to individual weeks. Pretty unique if I'm gonna be honest. It also has a date week, which is a nice bonus I guess. We'll also cover the Sonic week soon in a later episode. Stay tuned. Hank J. Wimbledon is the protagonist of Madness Combat, as he will probably appear in a future week in the official FNF game. Currently, Hank remains unreleased as of the making of this video, and so far we have only one teaser of Hank where he stands in the background with a lifeless boyfriend. Many mods relating to Hank exist, as he is also included in the Tricky mod. The J also stands for motherfucker.
The Cade engine, or as the Iceberg calls it, the Cade dev engine, is one of the most popular engines used by FNF mods and many iconic mods that have used the engine. The engine is of course developed by Cade dev, who we will further discuss later on this Iceberg. The mod brings many quality of life features onto the game, such as an accuracy tracker, improved scoring test, downscroll, keybinds, and many others. The engine, however, had some issues relating to the accuracy when set to complex, as many people thought it was unfairly adjusted. Many of the features that the Cade engine had would later be introduced into the vanilla game in the Week 7 update with keybinds, downscroll, and other things.
Isaac Garcia, or better known as Kawaii Sprite Online, is the composer of the game. Seriously, this man's more important than you think. The game wouldn't be so popular if it isn't with his very talented music produced around the game. As for who he is as a person and memes, he's typically portrayed to be very fearful when he has a cluster of work to do, especially during the Kickstarter when people were making memes of Kawaii Sprite needing to do so much with the soundtracks, with like 60 or so weeks planned, and the other devs especially treat him like he's a mastermind, as noted by the Kickstarter's exaggerated description of him, and one time on Newgrounds where stuff relating to lawyers and Kawaii Sprite circulated around Ninja Muffin's profile. Even outside of Friday Night Funkin', he still has amazing soundtracks and music to listen to. Check him out. I'm not sponsored to do this.
Oh, this one's a classic. So, some time ago during FNF's early life cycle, Ninja Muffin 99 gave Boyfriend a fake name as a joke and the internet went crazy about it. A lot of people thought this was Boyfriend's real name, but then Ninja Muffin 99 addressed this by saying that it was a joke name he made up for laughs. They even added a new intro text message saying, "His name isn't Keith, dumb eggy." Clearly clowning on those who thought it was his real name. Nowadays, this word has kind of begun to become an argument sparker and is often a part of the stereotype of crappy fanfics. There's one Redditor named who strongly believes Boyfriend's name is Keith. not much elaboration needs to be given. There has been many merchandise popping around relating to FNF, both official and unofficial. There's a lot of cool official shirts you can buy right now made by Phantom Arcade. That looks sick, I won't lie to you. That's badass. Does Tom Fold ever wear it every Saturday to flex on his wife and children for having drip? There's also been a promise of new merchandise that will be delivered to Kickstarter backers, which means we got some more spicy merch to see. And then there's unofficial merch, which varies in quality. Some unofficial merch looks pretty good, and some just look very goofy like this one. Well, that's all we can say. Anyways, do you by any chance have a senpai plush that I can throw off the roof of a skyscraper? No, I'm serious. Do you have any? Entry. Oh my. This is one of the horsemen of classic dramas that happened in the early lifespan of this game's modding community. So let's begin with the actual mod. The two main characters of interest are Sarvent, or better known as Sarv, who is a Neapolitan a demon that is trying to get to heaven, even though she can't get to heaven at all. And then there's Rav, a nihilistic Russian doomer who hates everything but acts as a personal tough guy bodyguard for the church. Now let's begin with the plot. BF and GF really need to go to the bathroom because they probably drank too much fluids and ate a lot of edibles than they should. Then they ask Church if they have a bathroom. Sarv decides it's a perfect time to indoctrinate two 19-year-olds who have no interest in religion or theology at all. But then she gets wrecked by them and calls Big Rusky comrade Rav to help her teach these heathens a lesson. And then you get one of the more well-known tracks that's also pretty difficult for the wrong reasons. Rav is defeated, and Sarv decides to reveal her true self just to destroy two random people who wanted to enter a church bathroom. Then it was all over. But we're not done yet. We got a stupid non-canon update released on April that was supposed to be for April Fools, in which a 17-year-old delinquent son of Sarv and Rav named Sylvester, decides to act all punkish toward the boyfriend and the girl find, and gives yet another banger of a song that's also difficult for the wrong reason. And the creator Doki Doodles wanted to introduce the 14-year-old sister of Celever named Rasazi, but she wasn't added out of concern of Rule 34, even though it was futile since there probably exists illegal material that we the team never googled that the FBI otherwise does not want us to continue discussing. So the mod was popular and grew into a sub-fandom, but things don't last forever. There were two big flaws that destroyed the mod's reputation: the charting and the engine. The charting used a lot of double notes, and the whole thing is just very questionable to say the least. The engine was unique to this mod and unfortunately was not very coded well, which explains some of the technical problems. A lot of people then thought it was cool to harass Doki for this, and it escalated to where the mod was privated and Doki completely left the community out of pressure. And thus, the coffin had been put to this mod, as it's dead in the water with nothing official coming out of the des, as the only thing related to it that kept it flowing is fan content that is variable in terms of quality. What do we learn from this? Well, mistakes lead to frustration, frustration leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to violence, violence leads to destruction, destruction leads to silence and sorrow. Wrath is one word I can describe this, and is one of the deadly sins that killed this mod.
Mindless mods are mods that entirely revolve around redesigning the characters to resemble their more simplified icons seen in gameplay. Yeah, it's not so much to write home about. Some mods do remixes, others just stay as standard reskins. They're mods. They play a key component to the game's activity. It's basically the Skyrim of rhythm games. So many mods exist, it's overwhelming. Mods can do anything, whether it be to change up the visuals, fix something, replace sound effects, and all that stuff. Some mods have their own exe files utilizing the many engines introduced in the game, which are modified versions of the base vanilla game's code. Yeah, let's move on. It's another one of the classic reskin mods. This time it's actually pretty awesome, in my opinion. It's like B-sides, but more on the sci-fi side of things. There's a sci-fi theme going around and has amazing designs and soundtracks. Just feels like a better B-sides in my opinion. Check it out.
Week 7 was revealed to be launching as a Newgrounds exclusive, and hype was generated all over the place. The day came, and lots of traffic hit Newgrounds in the head as the servers were shut down. It took some time until they expanded their storage, and another outage was caused at one point. It was fixed later. It was quite a disaster, to be honest. Millions of passionate fans waiting for the servers to go back up to play this week must have been a pain for those who were around its release back in April 2021.
David Brown, or better known by his alias Phantom Arcade, is the animator of the game and the person in charge of the lore. He is responsible for the many gorgeous looks of the game, and he is also known for his streams, which were the primary source of the lore for the game, as rarely did we actually get the game to show it by itself. He's also responsible for the accidental leak of Week 7, in which he accidentally opened an unfinished cutscene of Week 7 and everyone freaked out about it. He then later confirmed that Tankman is going to be the Week 7 antagonist, further confirming that Ninja Muffin's 99's statement about Tankman not being the Week 7's antagonist to be false. He is also known to make that one meme animation about boyfriend and girlfriend discussing about dads getting their balls stuck to a car door.
Come on, boyfriend. It happens to everybody. Hasn't your dad ever gotten his balls stuck in the car door while closing it?
What the fuck?
The master mods are exactly what they sound like. They completely overhauled the mod's visuals in order to look more complex and detailed. It's been rather a bittersweet debate on whether they are good or not, and many mods fell into some controversies. One involved the Tour Remastered, where people thought the art style didn't fit, despite the original mod by BB Ponzu looking so awful that it looks like a 9-year-old child drew it. And also the Bob Remastered, with so much hate going to it that it got deleted. That's not all. We also got other burning piles to go through, like that Sky Remaster that literally looked worse, and some other stuff in later entries of the Iceberg. Rule 34, you know what it is. And it's pretty popular in this game compared to many others, and so it's heavily stocked with it. It's been a controversial thing for a while, and even the official creator, Muffin99, endorsed porn, and it even is active on some porn subreddits. Honestly, you can't really specify too much because YouTube might age restrict this or take down this video.
Salty Sunday Night is like the vanilla game, but takes the story and soundtrack on a bit of a different scale than usual. It revolves around a 19-year-old white-haired dude named Salty going to some concert till he spilled coffee to the purple intimidating Thanos-looking ass called Daddy Dearest, and he gets sent to the back rooms, the arcade rooms, where there are many people who are trapped here for decades. One involved 2 siblings getting captured, another is a bullied girl, a spooky girl, and some other stuff. It's cool, I guess.
So this entry is kind of a running gag in the community. Basically, in the Kickstarter accomplishments, the final tier, which is over $1 million, it says the game will introduce a new mode called, well, sex mode. It's been reached, but the goal seems to be changed. Don't know why.
SEOS, or Spoke About Struggle, is a mod with the infamous character named Garcello. Spoiler alert, he dies in the mod. This mod is one of the few mods that doesn't get progressively hard. The songs instead get easier and easier. It's also made by Otsuover, a mod dev who also made Versus Andy as well as Ragebiter. Both songs from each mod are incredibly good. Also, Otsuover said that Garcello's death was funny. That aged like milk. Really aged like milk. Starcatcher is a mod that completely overhauls the game. It's an overhaul that makes the game into a space theme, with space-themed characters and space-themed songs, too. It's a pretty good mod in my book, but yeah, that's all. There's not much lore that I know of, but it's there. Next!
Yes, a classic video. It's basically a video where in one part of Guns, Tankman just starts singing with a different tone in the instrumental for like 9 seconds, making it seem like he's ascending. Here's the original clip.
The Date Week is a mod revolving around Witty and Carol on a date, though by now the ship has been removed from story canon by creator Sockclip. The mod is now said to be an AU. Moving on, it features over 50 plus cameos, either obscure characters or well known. We also get 3 fucking banger songs, which is cool, I think. Oh yeah, there are some characters that didn't make the cut for cameos, which will be brought up later, so keep that in mind. Overall, the mod is good for a Date Week.
not even going to explain this one. It's TikTok. Yes, it's TikTok. Just roll the clips.
Alright, Bowie, it's your turn to clean up. When I get back, this place better be spotless.
You got it, buddy.
Bowie, I thought you said... Whoa, 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 whoa. Bowie, I'm so impressed. You did such a good job.
I'm gonna be calling boyfriend from Friday Night Funkin. Okay, he's calling.
I'm over here stroking my dick. I got no.
Say it with me now. I'm a
Alright, I have one word to say for all of them.
Bruh.
The Tricky mod is a legendary mod with 4 songs which are very good in retrospect, and the last 2 are actually hard without any superficial things added to make it hard. The mod is about madness combat with the main character, Tricky, being the opponent you fight against or rap against? You decide what's more correct. If you haven't even watched Madness Combat, Tricky is the secondary antagonist of the series, of which is unkillable. He's also very sadistic and does evil things for fun. And what else does he have? This machine, called the Improbability Drive. Let's just say, it transforms him into some strange creatures. If you really want to know more, go watch Madness Combat, either on Newgrounds or YouTube. Anyways, the mod is the first mod to invent death notes, which either kill you in one hit or drain your HP. It also invented screen blockers with tricky stop signs and expurgation. The mod is developed by plenty of people. BandBuds does the art and animation, KDev does the programming, Rosebud is the composer, who has really good songs by the way, and some guests like Jads, Su Raran, and Yin Yang. The mod is a simple 11 out of 10 with good charting and good songs. Also, an Among Us character appears in it, which is cool.
BandBuds is such a sussy bug.
Is the first track of week 7, and at first you might think, boy, that's a bit weird to have an entire entry based on just one track alone. And that's not really what we're gonna talk about. To begin off short, in many verses of the track, Tankman sometimes says this iconic line. This has become kind of a meme in the community, as people used it for their own reactions, or to make random shitposts. And also... Okay, I have one thing to say. Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity? And fun fact, there are some other us you can find that didn't make it into the final song, as there was recorded audio of Jeff giving his attempts to say the line. Though for some reason the Iceberg team can't find the original, but we did fortunately find a video that used the audio. Anyways, take a listen.
Alright, I'll just say some catch lines. Alright, you ugly. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Versus Cappy, Arcade Showdown is a mod originally released on May 28, 2021, and it got a major update in February 2022, rated by Paper Kitty with minor assistance from BB Ponzo and Alcy. The main songs from the first version of the mod were moved to free play in version 2, and we'll touch on it a little later. So Cappy is a gray anthropomorphic cat wearing a jacket, dark gray pants, and a red hat with a black visor. In the mod, he is stationed on a DTR pad that he uses when hitting notes. And yes, it actually correctly corresponds to what arrow is currently being pressed. Very cool. There is not too much of a story to be told in the mod as of version 2. We also got extra characters like Pyoro from WarioWare. Guest 71 is based off of the avatar seen by people who used the guest feature in Roblox, which was active from 2008 to 2017. Pig from Paper Kitty's own Roblox game, Obby for the Midship, and Mr. Game & Watch from the games made for the Game & Watch console by Nintendo. Version 1 had its own week containing 4 songs that we mentioned before, and dialogue where Cappy convinces his girlfriend to be with him instead of boyfriend. He gets angry later on, but then calms down. Some of the content from version 1 was removed entirely, like the game over screen with girlfriend betraying boyfriend for Cappy, boyfriend's nyapos, and so on. If you're into arcades and gaming, this might be the mod for you. Anyways, next.
Matt is one of the opponents you face off in Wii Sports, and he's been notorious for being extremely difficult to win against, as many people decide to make memes about him. If you had PTSD of fighting Matt, don't proceed. OMG, Deltarune Chapter 2 Snowgrave reference! Okay, so then came a mod for Matt, which featured around 3 tracks: Light It Up, Ruckus, and Target Practice. Then later on, the Matt mod got a new week that featured 2 tracks: Sporting and Boxing Match. So let's explain the plot. Boyfriend practices with Matt, who is his coach, to do some singing training. In the entirety of week 1, he trains with Matt to become an ultimate champion. Then in week 2, Boyfriend comes back without telling Matt, and Matt loses himself as he proceeds to use 0.00001% of his power to whip Boyfriend's ass. Reception for the mod was mixed, to say the least, as a lot of people criticized the mod's charting, but a lot of people excused it over the fact that the mod is meant to be a joke. The mod had also gotten a crossover between Sir Perez's Shaggy mod with Shaggy X Matt, not the ship, you weirdos, coming up with even harder songs, and establishing the fact that Shaggy and Matt in this are real bros.
The WASD keys are an alternative to the arrow keys used to hit notes in the game. It's very rarely used among the community, and really, who really feels all that comfortable playing with them? Other than that, nothing too special. Week 7 was released in April 2021, but it wasn't released like any other weeks. The week was exclusively released on the Newgrounds website, which may explain as to why it caused the site to crash. As of writing, the week is still exclusive, but it might be a non-exclusive once the next update rolls around. The weeks in FNF are a compilation of at least 3 or so songs into one, with each of the weeks having a unique sort of narrative and style. When you play the game via story mode, you'll have to go through every week's song and you cannot continue in between them unless you are playing free mode. So when you play a week in story mode, you gotta complete it or else you'll lose progress. The game also tracks your week's best score based on how many points you got in total of all 3 songs you got in one attempt. The Witty mod is a mod where it revolves around the character Whitmore and his experience with boyfriend and girlfriend. Whitmore, or better known by his alias Witty, is a 20-year-old tall humanoid bomb who has been facing issues with girlfriend's family and has escaped from his captor Updike and his organization, the Greater Good. In the week, boyfriend interrupts Witty's loneliness as Witty asks him to get out of here, but boyfriend, like always, rejects. Eventually, Witty would get really angry and ballistic as he breaks his microphone and screams like a beast. Then he starts having a seizure as the 3rd song starts playing. Also, a secret code can be entered which will access Updike's song Remorse. The code is Remorse if you want to play it. The mod received very well reviews from many people, but it had some flack for its poor charting. Then there's drama. The Tabby mod was suspected by many people to be a Witty ripoff when creator saw a clip mention how Tabby's last song, Genocide, is pretty much identical to Ballistic. Some Witty fans decided it was kind of them to send hateful messages against Homesky, as Saw Clip felt personally embarrassed making that sentence and seeing this consequences stir up. So what happened after the drama is the mod was privated and it's no more. It's gone. Witty had been considered a classic mod during its entire lifespan, and it's likely to have its legacy stay for a while. Well, good news to y'all, Witty is back. This time, we got the definitive edition featuring remade stuff and a new week starring someone who likes to move it, Julian. Then there's also some new extras that's too unnecessary to point out. Yeah, it's an unexpected comeback, but not one with total greatness, if I'm gonna be honest. Good to see it, nonetheless.
Cameron Taylor, better known as Ninja Muffin 99, is a 22-year-old Canadian game developer who lives in the town of Kitchener. He is the programmer of the game and is the head boss man for everything that's responsible officially. So as a person, Ninja Muffin 99 cracks a lot of jokes, especially sexual ones, and has gone through some questionable stuff, to say the least. We're not going to talk about that, I guess. By the way, he's a pretty awesome and wholesome man, right? Right? Please tell me I'm right. Please. For the love of God, please let me be right about this. We're on an official iceberg.
And that's it for Tier 1. That was a decent ride, wasn't it? Apologies for the scuffed editing, but don't worry, it gets better. Why? Because we're not done yet. Oh my god! Tier 2 is up next. Let's dive into it.
In April 25, 2009, a band by the name of Perry Grip released a song by the name of I Got No iPhone. Basically revolves around a kid who doesn't get an iPhone for some reason, and gets licentious tendencies because of it. It's a pretty dark song, but whatever. How is it related to FNF, you might ask? Well, the composer of Week 2's third song and Week 5's third song, Based Films, released a cover of the song with Monster and Boyfriend's vocals over it. This caught the attention of the fandom, causing animations and other stuff to spread around, and it has been controversial for those who watched the good old 2009 original, as they got pretty sick of FNF fans flooding in and out. This is a meme from the Tricky mod. It's the part where the beat is about to drop near the end. It sounds like Tricky is saying negro or like a car. This has been memed for a while and it's now a dead meme along with Tiki, which will be mentioned later down. Keep that in mind. Actually, it come after the next 3 entries. Did the impropriety drive give him the N-word pass or something?
Bob is Mad is the game over screen for Run. It's just a website that has Bob's silhouette with eyes and with Bob is Mad copy and pasted 100 times or so. If you go down far enough, you get an audio file. If you play it sped up, it's just why you acting sus. Kinda sussy for a secret in joke mod, like it's just there among us. Wait. Sus! Also, it's kind of been a little more but a stereotypical line that edgy 12-year-old Bob fans would say. No offense to people who like Bob, but it gets annoying, man.
Cookie is an infamous meme among the FNF community where the improbable outset Tricky sounds like he says cookie. If you don't believe me, just play the clip. The meme will then be an instant meme hit and be spammed everywhere. It be Reddit, Twitter, memorial post, anything. The meme will then die off in a couple of weeks later, being annoying and unfunny. If you use it nowadays, everyone will think you were a child thinking all memes were funny. Tiki is, as you will expect, it's basically a bastardized Tricky drawn to look similar to the Amogus meme. It blew up and spread like absolute wildfire that even Crinkles officially recognized it by saying it in the Tricky version 2 premiere. Although you might ask, isn't this a Madness Combat meme since there is little next to none that relates to FNF? And you're kind of right. But what makes it rated is that most of the commonly shared videos place a bass boosted madness in the background, right after the person says Tiki. Like Cookie, it will later fall out of relevancy and is little more than just used by 9 years old. Though hey, it's a certain line from Starlight Mayhem character CJ during one of his songs, Inverted Ascension, during the beginning part of it. As of the writing of this, CJ has already got new vocals, make it sound more normal. Yeah, the meme itself is, well, not so popular like any other meme, but I guess it exists, so...
Guy on the internet, or better known by his initials Agoti, is basically an off-brand a scream demon, according to many sources, and possesses some tentacles on his head. The story revolves around Agoti being born in a box and having an adopted father named Salazar. As Agoti grew up, he got into the singing competition and got pretty popular. But then, Thanos and his wife, Daddy Dearest and Mommy Miras, were like, hey yo, you ain't taking over us. And sent him straight to Brazil, the void. Gotta make this professional, guys. So, in turn, boyfriend and girlfriend thought it'd be cool to go into the void, luckily managed to stumble into him. Agoti tells him about how he got here and how he felt there. Then, as usual, a rap battle ensues. Then on the third song, Agoti starts to snap. I swear, how many times do I have to make this out for those mods that use the exact same formula and makes a funny reference to Sammy Classic Sonic fan?
You freaking bricks!
The person who made the character is, well, homophobic and racist, legit everyone phobic. He legit acts like a Joker cause, I don't know, that's funny, haha, quirky, so quirky. But unfortunately, society ain't taking it personally, and the Venom Joker had to apologize with it to it longer, now deleted. Update! Agoti also now appears in the Entity mod with brand new vocals and that stuff. It's cool. And what I also forgot to mention is that he's not a screen demon, he's actually a Digidevil. And as for Agoti the person, he no longer has the name Agoti, but I will not bother revealing his name to avoid you dumb babies harassing him because he didn't like Pride Month and that stuff. And mods cancel as of June 29, 2022. Won't be seeing that mod complete. Sad. But hey, we got some of the work in progress stuff dumped out. Go check it out if you want. This is referring to the two notable background characters in Reactor. Drip is, well, a blue astronaut with Drip. Among Us is Among Us. What more can I really say about this entry? Deep lore?
Atsuover is one of the developers of the popular Smoke 'em Out Struggle mod and has a mod dedicated to her own self-insert OC, Annie.
Oh, hey, Editor Hegemony X9 here. It should be stated that Annie is no longer recognized as a self-insert and is her own original character now.
She's confirmed to be a transgender person according to many of her videos on her channel, including My Voice is an Enigma.
Those of you that have been watching my channel for a while know that I'm trans. I came out publicly on the channel back in November of 2018. I've been on hormones for like 2.5 years. I got all of my legal stuff changed last year, like court orders, social security stuff. Like, I am legally recognized as female, so I mean, you know, that's kind of epic.
And Atsuover does more things than just FNF. She also does art, animations, streams, and her own original music. She's also best friends with RageMiner, who is also affiliated with the LGBTQ+ community and helped her make the Garcello mod. Also, she literally made a fan art out of one of those clickbait thumbnails with a nude Annie with a censor bar and Garcello having weird ass. I don't know, man. I'm too tired to deal with this shit. It's 4 in the morning.
B3 remixes are basically just FNF songs, but remixed to be funky as hell. One popular song from this remix saga is B3 Blammed Remix. It's gotten an animation and a reputation for being a sick-ass song in the community. The B3 remixes even got a mod, which is cool, I think. The mod has 6 weeks so far and bonus weeks, and some extra songs like Witty B3. It has also gotten its own alterations to the canon FNF lore. Like in this version, Girlfriend is canonically transgender. The mod, like B-Sides and Neo, originally started as a palette swap, until at one point the creator Biddle3 decided to expand the mod further by entirely redesigning the characters and introducing other figureheads such as Sugar Ratio and Saval to work on the mod. Man, what an evolution.
BandBuds is a mod developer who has created or helped out in many mods such as the Tricky mod, versus Hank Challenge for FNF Online, and other mods, just to name a few off the top of our heads. The guy also had made a lot of mod ideas, some of them even becoming real things like Mr. Trollolol versus Bill Cipher, and versus Spamton versus Flippy, and many, many more. Although some remain as concepts.
Speaking of some still remain as concepts, versus Bill Cipher was cancelled. Yay!
He's also a bit controversial, which we won't dive deep into, but to put it simply, the creator of Brightside tried to cancel him, but backfired and got the creator of Brightside canceled instead. But in all actuality, no one cares. It's the creator of Brightside, for God's sake.
Where do we even start? You've heard of Beach Brother probably. If not, he's basically a character from Versus Beach Brother, that's, you guessed it, Girlfriend's brother. With 3 songs, he's just your average week, right? No. The creator of the mod was revealed to joke about him being transphobic. This wasn't taken as a joke since no one knew at the time he was joking. He didn't apologize for his jokes and didn't know it was gonna be taken as something serious. Let's just say the mod hasn't been doing well recently. Update. So in December 2021, Beach Brothers creator Squizzy Dizzle was actually manipulated by a far-right friend named Limelazy as a transphobic joke. Controversy was actually Limelazy's plan all along. There's an entire document that explains it, and it looks pretty legitimate if you ask us, the Icebreaker team. As for the mod itself, there is a revival project currently in development since March 2022, managed by a new owner by the name of XX Echo Delay XX.
Blantados is a Filipino person who does the trend of insert Friday Night Funkin song here, but every turn a different cover is used, as he takes one song and uses multiple character sound fonts on specific parts for the video and swapping sprites as he uploads them on his YouTube channel. As for other things, he developed a mod dedicated to his own persona, Blantad, who acts as a brand of all things Blantandos related, and he got into other games besides FNF like Henry Stickmin and Sonic the Hedgehog, until he would grow his entire career dedicated to Friday Night Funkin. He's pretty neat, you know, take it from me.
Now we discuss one entry on tier 1 where we discuss boyfriend's one fake name called Keith. This one, well, has some proof to be told. Ninja Muffin confirmed in the Reddit Amma that boyfriend and girlfriend's name are exactly what they are. So yes, in this universe, you can literally name your children after dictionary words. Incredible world we live in. Right side. So to begin off, the mod revolves around a 23-year-old murderer named Brightside, who has had a traumatic experience with his family and is mentally insane. Boyfriend, with FNF logic on his back, challenges him for some reason, and then he wears a creepy mask. Scary. The mod also has a secret troll song, where one is called Personal Fuck You, which, by the way, do not play if you want to keep your eardrums intact. Also, it has one of the longest dialogue. The mod received a pretty mixed reception, with people criticizing it for being too edgy and people disliking the mod overall. Then it was discovered that the creator, Ceramic Studios, was allegedly a pedophile and it caused, you guessed it, drama. We're not gonna touch into Ceramic Studios, just watch another video or something, man. Cassette Girl is a semi-human character who has been revealed in one FNF trailer where she'll be added in a future update. She first debuted in around 2018 by the user Softdawn and is pretty unknown as to how she impacted Newgrounds as far as I know. She also was meant to be some kind of representation of Newgrounds' music-related things. She's been also speculated to be the antagonist of Week 8, but no evidence has been shown to confirm this, and Week 8 has yet to be released as of the making of this video. This says so. Basically, many of the characters in FNF have their own ages confirmed by the devs. It's been confirmed that both boyfriend and girlfriend are 19 years old. Another is that Johnny Gita confirmed that Tankman was around 25 to 30 years old during FNF. Senpai is confirmed to be 18 by modeling, one of the people who assisted the development of Week 6. Rico has also been confirmed to be 20 years old. There's also confirmed ages for mod characters, which are plentiful, but here's some quick ones. Witty's 20, Carol's 19, Sunday's 23, Tabby's 21, Bambi's 35, and that's all I can think of really. The title really speaks for itself. Basically, some ships have been confirmed to be canon, either from the base game or mods. The most famous ones are Boyfriend x Girlfriend, DD x MM, Red x Green, and Bob x Afibo. You see, the last ship is no longer canon. This is because Suran, creator of Salty Sunday's Night, has been sent many animation of Afibo being beaten up by Ron, making the ship no longer canon due to just harassment. This has made a lot of people angry in the community since the ship had been appreciated a lot by the community. The person responsible for the animation is unusual. Yikes. That's all we need to say. Let's just move on.
This was originally a theory where Boyfriend couldn't speak English, but only in beeps. This theory was later backed up in week 6 when Boyfriend just says beeps and bops when speaking to Senpai. The theory was later dropped when the creators confirmed that he can speak English, but only speaks in beeps to avoid conversation. So the theory was then dropped and it's just there in the fandom. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory!
Dreams of Roses was one of the tracks found in the Doki Doki Takeover mod, which involves both Monika and Senpai fighting each other, though the backstory behind the author was a little dodgy. By that I mean the composer was, well you guessed it, was a pedo. The dev team had to quickly respond to that by completely temporarily closing down the mod page and finding a different composer to replace. It took some time and eventually a new composer was found and the track is now called Para no Yume. And if you don't speak Japanese, I'll inform you that it literally means Dreams Rose in Japanese, which obviously is a reference to the original song title. Crazy, ain't it?
The Anna boyfriend reskin is of course a boyfriend reskin, except the character replacing it is the character Anna. If you have no idea who Anna is a character created by Joel G, as she plays the protagonist of a surreal animation series of no official brand name, having her first animation debut on May 26, 2020. The developer of the mod itself is Robarb, and it contains unique sprites for week 5 and week 6. What makes this feel different is that Anna's week 6 sprite contains an entirely different set of clothing, as she wears typical schoolgirl clothing, which makes sense regarding week 6 high school setting. There's nothing too much to add, let's move on.
FC bots are basically bots that automatically hit notes in case you're a lazy bum that can't hit notes properly or you're recording a funny mod showcase. The most popular of which of these is one created by KDev, which you can obviously install for yourself and let it unleash. However, I'm no coding expert to really explain how it works and that stuff, since the source code is well open, then you can certainly read it for yourself and try to piece together the puzzles. The most common use of this bot is by YouTubers more than anyone else, so it's quite rare to find mod showcases that involve bots outside of here. And maybe if you're such a loser, you can use it as some kind of way to cheat. Cheaters never prosper, you hear me?
Alright, yep, sure, this is gonna get weird. So, out here on YouTube there's a trend called mukbangs, mukbangs, whichever the pronunciation is, which was first introduced in South Korea and got popular around 2010. In short, mukbangs are practically eating shows, and many notoriously participated in this activity. With FNF's popularity peaking, the YouTubers just had to find a way to integrate the game into mukbangs. By that I mean a lot of animators are going out of their way to animate fictional characters eating unhealthy amounts of food and risking obesity and diabetes. What's even funnier is the official FNF devs watched those videos on a live stream and just joked around with it and expressed that they do not have an issue with them existing. And as always, this series of videos has proven to be controversial among the community, and a lot of people hate the existence of these videos, often implying it was disgusting and cringe.
FNF Soft is a mod created on August 10th, 2020 by Tama, worked on by a lot of people. Now the story of FNF Soft takes a much darker turn than usual. Like, dark. This is not limited to the trauma, PTSD, and a lot more we can't list cause of fucking Susan. I mean, who the hell names their child Susan? Only a fucking dork would name such a bozo bitch. Anyway, the mod takes the standard FNF lore and changes it up a bit. The plot goes as follows. Boyfriend is an artist, but he is not living within happiness. He has a desire to become an artist, but his parents beg him to become a musician, which he clearly doesn't want to do, which resulted in them being pretty pissed off about it and hitting the absolute living dingo out of him. But not all is bad, as he would develop a relationship with Pico, who was a dollar store anarchist looking ass rather than the bold green shirted ginger with tan pants he was back in Pico school. Then, Boyfriend and Pico go along an adventure of rapping people because they fucking can. It also includes Boyfriend's abusive parents. Okay, plot over. Gameplay wise, it's nothing too special. No new mechanics, a significant lack of new songs as of now, and having just a very bare bones launch. Though that isn't going to stay forever as the mod is planning to add more things in the future. future. So we'll wait. As for reception, the mod received plenty of praise and plenty of criticism. Praise was given for its creativity and storytelling, but some criticism was directed towards its edgy narrative and annoying characters. Also, the mod is actually a vent mod, as Boyfriend represents the real person of Tama. Final Destination is one of the songs featured in the Shaggy x Matt mod, where Shaggy, Matt, and Boyfriend become shadowy figures.
Quick correction. Final Destination God Mode is a song where they become shadowy figures. The regular Final Destination is the third song for Shaggy x Matt.
There's a much harder variant which can be achieved by a process which I will not spoil for the sake of this video, not just being a guide to every mod in existence. This variation is much more difficult than the base one, and you may ask, why? Well, it contains plenty of stuff to go through. Shaggy's 9 arrow notes, Matt's intense overcharting, caution signs, and red death balls. The last two would already sound familiar if you played FNF HD and the Tricky V2 mod. The devs consider it the hardest fucking chart, so it's not like it's just personal experience. If you had played Super Smash Bros, you might be familiar with the whole Final Destination name. That may possibly be an inspiration that this mod used, and it is also inspired off of other things like the thriller movie series Final Destination, with the whole boyfriend being able to cheat death idea being inspired off of the movie series. Last but not least, Final Destination is actually a remix of the popular Sparta remix song used in pretty old memes. We'll dive more into this in a later entry.
Flippy is a Friday Night Funkin YouTuber who plays a lot of mods and is trying to achieve perfect combos on them. As for other content besides FNF, there is almost next to nothing, but we did find a few Deltarune related videos way before he started a career in FNF. He also has one of the earlier YouTubers as he played the game before it blew up, as you all know, specifically on November 30th, 2020. There's nothing else to really note about him other than he's a real pro gamer. For real, he probably has a swag gamer chair. Maybe he'll be joining a competitive esports community once the full game releases with multiplayer. Who knows, maybe he'll be a pro Fortnite player. Only time will tell, and quite frankly, I don't give enough of a shit.
Foolhardy is the first track of the Zardy mod, which is based off of the indie horror game Zardy's Maze. It used to be the only track for the song until an update came for Zardy which added more. The song is composed by Rosebud, an absolute legend of a composer. The song is around 3 minutes long and is known to be ridiculously challenging to many people. And unlike other songs, this is one of the few songs where the antagonist changes mood as the song progresses. At first, Zardy is at his normal phase and later on he gets angry. Roll the clip! Yeah, you don't want to mess with the scarecrows, man.
Funky Friday is a game part of the cloud-based game platform website named Roblox, or Roblox if you work for the news. Funky Friday entirely ports the main soundtrack of FNF into this game, and has been considered as an alternative for FNF in many circumstances. It was first released on February 26, 2021. Your intelligent brain will probably ask, why does it exist when FNF is a free game? Well, Funky Friday features things that have yet to be implemented in the base game or in mods for that matter. Funky Friday can be played with another player. It also contains cosmetics for your Funker to choose, and it is compatible for mobile devices. This may explain why many players play it, but some directly came from Roblox, and they have their, well, questionable fanbase. Though, not all is doom. This game was widely acclaimed by many people, though some people criticized it for being unoriginal and lazy. If you wanna check it out, then check it out, bro. Or sis, or whatever your gender identity is. Who do you think you're talking to? I mean, for all I know, you could be a frog for fun.
The Game Banana incident in this entry could possibly be referring to when, during the summer of 2021, someone hacked a website or something and deleted and trashed multiple mods like Versus Thor, the Tricky mod, literally every FNF mod ever, or the least forgettable, B-sides. After this, many people moved their mods to Game Showdown and other sites in fear of this happening again. Game Banana would then apologize for the incident on r/Friday Night Funkin. A mod called Versus Arch was even made from this incident, made by BB Ponsu, featuring BB Ponsu and Arch.
Game tunes. Pretty hit or miss channel if you're to ask me. GameToons is a YouTube channel that posts parody animations of popular media, mostly video games, and those animations are often associated with the logic community. So to know if GameToons parodied this, you have to insert whatever thing you like, then put logic at the end, then see the results. And why are they relevant to Friday Night Funkin'? Well, their Friday Night Funkin' animations are not so favorable among the community. Some seemingly saying that they are so bad it's good, while others say they are cringe and childish. Along with their questionable decisions, there's also been the common opinion that GameToons used to be entertaining before the Friday Night Funkin' Logic series, with things like Among Us with Logic, Henry Stickmin Logic, Minecraft Logic, you know the stuff. So yeah, that's GameToons. Getcoin is yet another Friday Night Funkin' mod showcase YouTuber, who is well known and talked about in the community on occasion. Unlike Flippy from what we discussed before, he doesn't really go for a specific goal and instead just showcases the mod simple as is.
His account was created on May 24th, 2014, and there is no form of content uploaded until February 6th, 2021.
And has always had content relate to FNF in some way, instead of the previous mod showcase creator we discussed that did things other than FNF. Not much is known about Gigcoin other than he did get into drama with Speed, which someone else will discuss later on. So if you want to know what mods are out there, this guy's for you.
If you don't know what Kickstarter is, it's a website that hosts crowdfunding campaigns towards various projects in order to be produced and released. In this case, Friday Night Funkin' got its own Kickstarter where the game will get a full release on Steam sometime in the future with lots of more content to be had starting from April 18th to May 18th. The Kickstarter wanted to gain $50,000 in funding, but it had more plans in case the people are more generous. Both the 50,000 goals are stretch goals, which are goals that are otherwise not necessary for the full game's release, but it will be added if the amount of funding is properly given. $2 million in total have been funded towards the Kickstarter, with 58,561 people donating it. There's lots of rewards you get for funding the Kickstarter, including a copy of the game, merchandise, or even sharing your own ideas to the devs to make it a reality. It's gonna be a bit long to list every reward, but here are some highlights. Awful name my parents gave? Wow, I didn't know that. 10-minute statues? Awesome. Yeah, I'm not gonna even comment. It explains everything. It's honestly insane to see how much money is truly devoted to this one small project made up by 4 guys. Now, as of the recording of this video, the full-ass game has not yet been released, so to anyone in the future, let us know if everything that the Kickstarter promised was delivered well. Also, who donated 10k towards this funding? Would be funny if we saw them record the phone call of Ninja and the gang saying they suck.
Little Man is a character that first appeared in the mod Bob's Onslaught. Like the name says, Little Man is very small in size, which is why we distinguish him like that. He is confirmed to be 27 years old, a usual friend of Ron, and is also called Little Dude on the game files. He also has a very high-pitched voice, and has his own weak mod. I'll avoid spoiling the weak mod for now, but it has a very pleasant surprise. Little Man is a fan-favorite character among the FNF community, and I can sorta see why. Also, it's confirmed that lore-wise, December 13th, 2017, he literally stepped on dog poop.
Mike Gino is a popular composer for the many mods of Friday Night Funkin', most known for Min-Fight Masses. He's very well received when it comes to his music, also does various remixes for many already existing tracks of the vanilla game, and some mods too. Pre-Friday Night Funkin' wise, he was pretty active at the time, as he did tracks for other games like Five Nights at Freddy's, Doki Doki Literature Club, Undertale, and a few others, while doing non-game related music as well. However, one complaint commonly associated with him is his vocal tracks for Boyfriend. The Boyfriend vocals to many were just too out of place, as it sounds so echoey. It doesn't sound like it's the vanilla version. But this isn't the only composer who's a victim of this mistake, similar to Yin Yang. He still has some pretty good songs to listen to. Check him out if you want.
Mommy Mirrors is the implied name of the girlfriend's mom, being the most popular out of all. The origins of this name traces back to Ninja Muffin's tweets. She is an ex-pop star and the husband of Daddy Dears. Pretty obvious, isn't it? Though it's evident that she is considered a man I like frauds, a MILF. You two please spare me. According to the last track with the same name, her first appearance is in week 4, the week title being Mommy Must Murder. then reappearing in week 5, being together with her husband, Daddy Dearest. In a Reddit AMA by Phantom Arcade, it's been confirmed that Mommy Mears is worse than Daddy Dearest. Well, she is what she is. Carrying into some mother. Am I right? Am I right? In the Cappy mod, once you complete the main week, you'll get a bonus one called Game Watch. This week only features one song, Last Zone, which is a remix on a Super Smash Bros. World music track titled Last Zone 2, which explains the reason why it's called that. The week features Mr. Game & Watch from many titles of the Nintendo Game & Watch, starting from 1980 to 1991. He's a black silhouette shaped like a stick figure in design and has appeared in other popular titles like the Super Smash Bros. Series since Melee.
Neonite is a YouTuber who does the blank except every turn is a different character used type of videos that you'd otherwise be familiar with if you watch Blantados, but maybe with some slight differences. The channel is also exclusively based on this format of videos, though there's other things, but most of them are pretty much comparisons to one another. This is referring to two unused icons that are connected to Boyfriend. One of them is a yellow version of him with no hair and green eyes, and this icon was originally used before the Week 4 update but was later removed with a better icon that represented BF's looks better. This icon can still be used and seen by pressing 9. Pretty ugly. The other icon is one with a red cap backwards that sorta represents Boyfriend, but it misses out on the hair and ears. This icon, unlike the other, cannot be used in-game and is only accessible by modifying the game to put the icon in. Strange how one icon can still be accessed, but the other can't. This is so sad.
There are a handful of other Roblox FNF games besides Frankie Friday. It ranges from basically FNF to yet another Funkin Night to Friday Night Bloxing. However, sometimes they don't actually copy the base game with a few new elements slapped in. There are some roleplay games, but they are not very well received because of the reputation of Roblox roleplay. And trust me, Sarge has plenty of freaking experience on Roblox roleplay to explain to you what happens there. Besides roleplay, there's not a lot of things to write about. Just be very cautious when going into the roleplay games if you want your sanity intact.
Pico's missed sprites are unused sprites found in Pico's sprite sheet. Although it may not be accessed in the main game, it is however possible to obtain them via modding. By modding the game, you must make sure that Pico is coded to be the player's character. After that, this should cause the missed sprites to be used. The reasons as to why the vanilla game does not use it are unclear. This may indicate that Pico will probably at some point be a playable character in a future update or potentially the full-ass game.
Reddit is a website that... Do I have to explain this? What do you think we're going to explain? Some freaking famous FNF creators who use it? You think we're going to add a pointlessly long explanation? Huh? Okay, that was a bit too much. Look, it's where this iceberg came from. Anyways, there's a main official unofficial, I hate that combo of words, subreddit about FNF called r/Friday Night Funkin. Very obvious. This subreddit is about FNF. Yeah, it has cool art, intelligent discussions, and memes, with only 1% of them actually being funny. It also has some events going on, like a few art competitions with actual prizes involved. There has been other subreddits, including some that we cannot discuss further so YouTube doesn't age restrict this, and hijinks, which used to be here to criticize r/FNF's power-tripping mods and user base, but it became a more smaller alternative for more freedom-loving nerds. But that freedom led to some offensive stuff being shared that led to its eventual backlash by r/Friday Night Funkin. Then it got banned in April 2022 by Reddit admins for quote-unquote promoting hate. A few unofficial scissor subreddits were created, but were also banned because it's obviously not allowed. Yeah, Reddit is Reddit.
Retrospector is yet another well-known musician that used to remix Undertale music. It still holds up to this day. But nowadays he's moved on to FNF remixes and original FNF songs. To quote the script, the remixes he's made are so bussin'. And he's got his own mod. It's a full week mod with 3 songs. Keep on forgetting if it's 3 or 2, but that's neither here nor there. The songs are honestly the best things that ever happened, and sound really good. Not fun to beat, with poison notes and notes moving, making the songs hard as hell. And of course, I can't go without mentioning it. Moth boobs. Rosebud is an extremely well-known music composer in the Friday Night Funkin community, creating the B-Sides mod, and has composed for music for many other mods such as Witty, Tricky, and Zardy. He's also known to be the first to actually make a fluid, correct-sounding boyfriend. No songs that he's made sound god-awful. I'm talking to you versus Mouse.
SSN Peppered is a side mod that basically spices up the SSN. No pun intended. Anyways, it's still a work in progress, so all we have are some teasers. I mean, leaks, and some other cool stuff. Designs have pretty much changed for every character, so here's a few comparisons between some characters from the originals to the Peppered. Also, there are going to be some mechanics, and pretty much every track from the original has gotten a new fresh coat of paint. This is also where we get the human funny black blob girl named Ophiephobe, which of course leads to that one thing that starts with an R. Haha guys, do you get the 34? I'm dying of laughter, help me, I need an inhaler. Wait, why do I have asthma all of a sudden?
Rest in P.I.S.S. You'll be missed, dear narrator. You had a stroke trying to dissect the joke. Sorry. Nah, who am I kidding? They'll come back big and strong. Heroes never die. Okay, at first when writing this, we were like, nah, why should we cover this? But then I thought, why even skip it if we're supposed to cover it? Now, let's actually get into it. The Sky mod was released somewhere around April of 2021. Before talking about what the funk happened to this mod, let's begin off with a brief overview of the mod. The mod starts off quite usual, 3 songs in 1 week. Sky is this girl who really obsesses over this blue-haired handsome cat fellow with a demonic damsel. The progression is also no different from the once overused week 6 plot that Witty popularized, as Sky turns into this weird monstrosity and our girl is but dang man, Manifest is baller. Not to mention, the animation have aged quite well, as they feel pretty buttery smooth in my opinion. And all that seems well, right? Wrong. Before the mod was made, the inspiration came from a random girl who was around like 12 to 13, as she made Sky and his name Boyfriend's Wife Forever. Now, what happens later? Well, a bunch of weirdos raided her server with a never safe from Waluigi images of her OC, and this was a clusterfunk for her. The server then poofed. BB Ponzo looked at this and thought he committed the greatest sin ever, as on April 26, 2021, he threw the mod off a cliff and never wanted to talk about it again as his way to repent. Those events alone gave Sky an infamous reputation, and even popular sites like Funkipedia and Game Banana refused to allow its users to upload content relating to Sky. Though, somewhere around late 2021, a girl named Dibs wanted to make a senpai alternative to Sky named Cloud, and in fact, the mod is out as a recording in January 2022. But that's not all. Between that, we also got people's other Skies. One was an edgiest Shadow the Hedgehog version of Sky who's bisexual, and another is 4chan's version of Sky. We can't really talk too much right now because of Susan, but there's a mod incoming and a Twitter account which might be related to the mod, but it could be another Never Safe from Waluigi artist who does a good job at tricking their viewers. We'll just have to wait and see. Well, that was a mouthful. Anyways, next entry. Spirit, one of the secondary antagonists of week 6, isn't just a random spooky ghost that comes here to haunt your balls off. Spirit hasn't always been just this ugly, sad creature that roams this video game that boyfriend and company are stuck in. Spirit, in fact, actually was a human at one point. The dialogue makes this absolutely clear that he has been trapped here for a long time and seems to be one of the first victims to be trapped inside this game. Spirit also expresses his hatred for Daddy Dearest, as it looks very likely that Spirit had at one point a bad experience with Daddy Dearest that concluded in his human form being trapped into the game for a long time, maybe way before boyfriend and girlfriend were born, or to be old enough to understand the part of the world that isn't involved on their families. Simply put, isolation and torment.
Stareground is the character for the mod Funkin Against Anomalies, in which we got a weird bootleg Thanos standing there and literally being like a fanboy for boyfriend. No joke, as you progress, he starts to disturbingly transform into an angel, but hey, the pain has to be worth it, am I right? Also, remember when we called him a bootleg Thanos? No, that's not just the fans making this up. The creators actually named him as Thanos in the game files. I'm serious. He also has a corruption stage as a joke. Starlight Mayhem is a mod in which it takes place in a concert where a band composed of various people go together. Then some buster who can't follow a train, a singer named CJ invites over BF to have a classy rap battle. This time, it actually makes fucking sense for once, instead of some wacky crazy shit happening. Like, bruh, you think it's gonna be another stereotypical crazy zany mod or some shit? Like, ooh, I'm angry, suck on my clit. Okay, now back to the actual mod. Later on in the mod, you face off CJ with a partner named Ruby, singing together in a duet. And if you want to know what Ruby's backstory is, there's that. The mod right now is going to get an update with some new stuff in it, as well as CJ's currently pretty poopy vocals being replaced with one that feels more better. Also, the creepy Pastorino me Adelaide is also there. Cool.
The Masked Chris. So basically this person started off with animations and animatics for a character called Adelaide, which would eventually cause the development of Friday Night Funkin versus Adelaide about 3 years later. Also soon after, he'd make other stuff. Eventually he'd make Starlight Mayhem. Wait, we went over Starlight Mayhem. And he'd also work on the Bob and Bowship mod, and some other obscure mod. And he got a little scandal over the Big 34, but I'm not allowed to say what we're talking about there, so...
News alert! Ayo, so the Masked Chris is beefing right now. Who's he beefing with? Your uncle with Asperger's, Anthem Overlord, someone who composes the deleted soundtrack. It's about copyright disputes, and Anthem claims Chris is a creep and he drew the 34 of a... Yeah, you get where this is going. So far, all of it is allegations, so we'll wait till the smoke clears. Anyways, let's hope both get better and take accountability. So, y'all know the Tricky mod. Hype was everywhere you go. So what would happen when the mod finally launches? Of course, Game Banana breaks itself from the chaos. So what this means is that the Tricky mod devs had to upload it in a different format than the standard zip format we're all used to. So to all the poor souls that tried to download the mod but couldn't and had to re-download again, I salute you.
You probably know what Roblox is, and I'm gonna tell you what UGC is. UGC stands for User Generated Content, which means that there are plenty of hand-selected amount of people that can publish whatever accessory they want to the platform, and in this case, FNF has had plenty of UGC's hats pop in and out. UGC also means ugly, gross, A lot of these UGC items claim that in their descriptions that they had gathered permission from their respective owners, including mods. However, not everyone was favorable of this, as some Roblox users were getting very annoyed of this very quickly, and it's kinda understandable. There's also been the issue of some accessories literally being based on the same thing with different designs and price tags.
Before Week 7 was released in April 2021, UGG was revealed early by Kawaii Sprite and Phantom Arcade, leaking Week 7 before it's even out. This caused a mod called High Effort UG to be released, where people used the leaked Tankman assets and made their own interpretation in this mod. The only track that this mod has is, of course, UG. What's unique about this mod is that they completely predicted that Tankman would have a unique sprite dedicated to when he says UG, though in this version he seems more calm and relaxed compared to his angry and disgusted one in the actual game. There are plenty of similarities between the two, but they are all distinguishable nonetheless. Here, I'll show a comparison. Updike is a character that was added in the secret Witty song and plays a huge role in the story of the mod. He's a white humanoid with a cloudy head wearing a white suit. He was once a weather reporter until turning into some generic James Bond corporate villain and forming some knockoff SCP called The Greater Good to contain Witty to site, some factory or something, and prevent Witty doing big bad things. Updike has only one song, sadly, which is Remorse. He also was originally to be named as Updike with a Y, but was changed for the Y being an I, but it's mostly the same thing, really. The title of this entry may be familiar, that's because it's pretty similar to the High Effort UG mod, with a few exceptions. As we all know, Hank was confirmed to be the character that'll be added to FNF later on, and the only image we have is a sprite of him standing facing towards the front. This mod pretty much builds upon this design and also introduces 3 fan-made songs to go along with. The background contains a recreation of the first few areas you go to when playing the old Madness Flash game, Madness Accelerant. Nothing really spectacular, it's just the Madness protagonist we probably all know. Also, like any other mod, the mod's a demo! The noob is a common term shared around in the Roblox community of what used to be a common avatar for those who recently signed up to Roblox. This fella shares a yellow head and arms, a blue torso, and green legs. And wouldn't you know it, this fellow would also make his appearance as an FNF mod. So the mod basically centers all around him and sadly only has one track, Crossing My Road. The mod is developed by Toad Odyssey and JBug, who was a well-known Roblox animator before the mod came out. Like the last entry, it's yet another demo! Sunky. Oh, that guy. So who is Sunky? He sunks. Okay, jokes aside, let's explain it in brief detail. Sunky is a character that is obviously a parody of Sonic the Hedgehog created by Looney Dude. The mod revolves around Sunky and the silly nature behind the games revolving around him. And to elaborate more clearly, this is not the Sonic.exe version of Sunky, as this entry probably refers to the one made by Wheels HD. It's up to debate on whether or not you think Sunky is the funniest thing you've ever seen or having the sense of comedy worse than an average 13-year-old edgelord on Discord making racist jokes. Check this out.
Beans!
Versus Tord is a mod that was developed by our funny dude, BB Panzer, which is based around the character of Tord from the animated Newgrounds series, Eddsworld, who first serves as a protagonist, but then, spoilers, becomes a backstabbing bastard and gets a giant robot to destroy practically everything. The mod contains only 2 songs, one being Norway, in which this motherfucker sounds like a dog, and then the second is the spicy robot track where Tord sings in this giant robot. The mod has been poked fun at for how amateurish the sprites look, but still is regarded as a classic towards many people in the community. Also, he's been poked fun at for his vocals sounding like a crackhead dog. I mean, can you blame them?
Week 2 first release with only 2 songs being available, Bookies and South, but there was actually a third song that was left in the game files that is not normally accessible, but has a playable chart. This, however, was addressed in the Week 7 update where Monster now appears as a playable song without the player needing to take a round with debug.
Zardy's update is the most recent update to Versus Zardy. It includes a new song, Bushwhack, a 6-minute long song, and 2 new things. One, we are introduced to Cable Crow in the later half of Bushwhack, and we get a new mechanic. This mechanic is where you have to hit 4 notes in a random order. Hitting the wrong one resets the combination. Not to mention you are unable to hit the notes if it's your turn, so you've got to be quick. Also, whatever you do, don't get blue-balled, or else.
BB Panzer is an 18-year-old who makes Friday Night Funkin mods like Versus Tord, Versus Sky, Versus Mammy, and Versus Sunday. He's pretty controversial according to some for racism and other allegations, but we'll get into that deeper in the iceberg. Also, the quality of his mods are very inconsistent, with some very good mods like the Holiday mod, Versus Sunday, Versus Carol, and then there's the ones that are pretty below average like Dox and Tord. He's no doubt a popular figurehead among the community, and people have a love-hate relationship for him. Also, he developed the Arch mod, where he quite literally cries about his account despite being around 17 when the mod came out. Evil Skater's a dude who works on Friday Night Funkin. That's really all we really know. He also does other stuff, but like, whatever.
Artist is a Reddit user who now stands as the current owner of r/Friday Night Funkin. For some time now, they were a moderator and then became a co-owner for some time to what we have today. As for their posts, they mostly do art and do random screenshots, and that's it. They also do the user flares as well. And since they are involved with the mod team, there was some controversy regarding r/Friday Night Funkin's take on moderation, and at one time they had to write a response to some complaint posted on the r/Friday Night Hijinks subreddit.
Wildy is the person who's responsible for making Bob's Onslaught. Before this, he was just your average guy with nothing to do until Friday Night Funkin' hit him. He became a demon like Tricky, and he grew horns like GF and became an emo child who was broken. He also makes mods for a living now, I guess. Good for him.
Alright, that was fun. However, we still aren't done. Things are getting obscure now, I think, but we'll get into that in part 2. We've done enough here today. If you wish to provide any corrections for entries or any evidence, etc., then feel free to leave a comment and let us know. To be continued in part 2, releasing when your dad comes back with the milk. Nah, I'm just playing. I'd like to thank all of you for taking the time to watch this video. It's been very tough getting everything finished and completed. The main reason why this video is coming out now and not in August like originally planned is because after I finished editing Tier 2, I went back to working on my own YouTube channel and I would later give up on the Friday Night Funkin' community. This was troublesome because Scav AV was having a lot of issues editing Tier 1 and without me to help, no progress was made for months. What brought me back was knowing that if the project died, all of our efforts would be for nothing and I would have wasted countless hours sitting at my laptop instead of going outside or something. I asked Scav AV to hand me all of the clips that he had edited, and I started working on finishing everything. If I had the time, I would have completely remade Tier 1, but that was just not an option since this video has already been delayed for like a fucking year. And so it's a bit patchy, but I did my best with the limited time I have. Despite this, I'm proud of all the effort we've put in as a team, and I hope you too can understand the effort and troubles we went through. Once again, thanks to all of you for watching, and we hope you stick around for part 2. If you're interested in joining the team, then drop a comment and we'll get in contact. I hope all of you have an amazing day.